Good evening and welcome to the City of Battle Creek, Michigan in our Battle Creek City Commission meeting for September 17th, 2024. It is 7 p.m. We will have a moment of silence for our invocation, and then we'll have a Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell. I'd like to read a statement before the meeting. For citizens that may be looking at our printed agenda or the Commission agenda online, there is still language that has not been updated yet by our software provider regarding the new rules governing public comment. Those changes should appear in the near future. We apologize for any inconvenience, and we will be sure and adhere to the new rules this evening. Bottom line, you get 4 minutes to speak for public comment at the beginning of the meeting. At the end of the meeting, we're still in the same rules, right? City Manager? Yes. Assistant City Manager? Thank you very much. With that being said, we're going to have a moment of silence. Please stand if you're able to, and then our pledge by Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell. Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on our agenda is roll call. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Ballard.
Present.
Commissioner Lance.
Here.
Commissioner Morris.
Here.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Here.
Mayor Banky.
Here.
Commissioner Reynolds.
Present.
Commissioner Simmons.
I am here, joining remotely while on military duty.
Thank you. Commissioner Smith.
Present.
Vice Mayor Sophia.
Here.
Thank you.
As Commissioner Simmons said, he's on military assignment, and he'll be participating via Zoom for this meeting. We have a number of proclamations and awards, and I believe our city manager will call out the names. No?
We have them.
Got it. We have them here. Will someone call out the name for me? Ted, can you do that? Thanks.
Do you have names or do you, I just need that.
You just need the sheet? Thanks.
Scripts.
So what? Do you want me to just read it? Okay. I'll take these. Okay.
These are our beautiful Battle Creek Awards, and it gives me a lot of comfort in seeing some of the transformation that takes place in some of our neighborhoods. And a lot of people spend a lot of time. So we have a number of people today, and Sandra L. Rowe at 56 Rebel, are you here today? Yes, she is. Thank you very much. The entire Rebel Street is beautiful. Please come up here, and we're going to allow you to say a few things in just a minute, but we're going to get everyone out front first.
Okay. Next one, Mayor, I have is MPC 5, Ward 1, Cheryl Roberts at 57 Bynum Drive. Cheryl.
Yes.
Yay, Cheryl.
Congratulations.
Hey, Cheryl.
Thanks.
I don't think the others are here, but I'll go ahead and read their names,
Okay.
Mayor. So we have MPC 3, Ward 4, Kathleen Southern at 235 Fairfield Avenue. No.
She's here.
Oh,
No?
no, I don't think
She's
so.
got a-
Okay, MPC 3, Ward 1, Sweepies Burmese Cuisine at 915 West Territorial Road. Okay, moving on. MPC 11, Ward 4, David Schrader at 126 Wren Circle. And NPC, I didn't see that one. Okay, MPC 11, Ward 4, Fry Battle Creek Property, LLC at 100 East Columbia Avenue. And I think that's all we have, Mayor.
Thank you very much, City Manager. Would either of you like to just make a couple comments on what you do every year to really spruce up your property? You don't have to, but we just...
First of all, thank you for this award. I have low maintenance now. Since over the years, I've taken up a lot of shrubs, so it was a more beautiful picture, but I do appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Well, we really want to say thank you for doing the work that you have completed. Believe it or not, it does create an incentive for other people to clean up their yards and their homes too. So thank you very much. The people and the Battle Creek City Commission say thank you. And now we would like to take a picture. We do have a couple proclamations.
We do, yep.
Thanks. Our first one is Constitution Week. Miss Lightfoot, are you here? Yes, she is. Thank you very much. I always enjoy going to this group. They meet, I believe, once a month, right? You do, and they always have a speaker at this assembly, but every year during the month of September, they celebrate Constitution Week. So I'd like to read the proclamation. It's not very long. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America, the guardian of our liberties, embodies the principles of limited government in a republic dedicated to rule by law. And whereas September 17th marks the 237th anniversary of the framing of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document in its memorable anniversary and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate this occasion. And whereas Public Law 915, which was approved in 1956, guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Therefore, on behalf of the citizens of the City of Battle Creek, we do hereby proclaim the week of 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week in the greater Battle Creek area, and we ask neighbors to reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by protecting the freedoms guaranteed through us by the guardian of our liberties. We'd like to thank your organization for celebrating this annually, and we'd like to thank you very much for coming down tonight. We have National Big Brothers and Big Sisters Month. Are there representatives here from the National Big Brothers and Sisters? Come on down, everyone. Thank you very much. Great. I'm going to ask that you give us a little history on what's taking place here today.
Thank you for having us. My name is Natifa Sly. I'm the Director of Programs for Big Brothers Big Sisters. This month we're celebrating Big Brothers Big Sisters Month. Specifically this week we're celebrating Paint the Town Green in honor of the mission of the organization, which is to help mentoring in the community by pairing up adults in the community with kids in the community for a one-to-one mentoring relationship. We're inviting all of you this week to wear green, as you can see here, wear green this week in celebration of the month. And if you have some time, please sign up to mentor a child in the community. We have over 80 kids waiting across our service area who are waiting for a mentor. So if you guys have time, please sign up to mentor a kid in our community. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I want to say we appreciate new ideas and things to do, and this seems to be a new one that I've never seen here at the Battle Creek City Commission. So could we have a picture taken? And I'll present this to you. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is Chair noting any added or deleted resolutions.
There were none.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is petitions, communications, and reports.
There were none.
Thank you very much. Next item on our agenda is public comment regarding any specific agenda item. It's limited to 4 minutes, and our timer will be calculated at 4 minutes. If you'd like to make public comment regarding any specific agenda, please raise your hand and I will acknowledge you to come forward to the podium. You will have 4 minutes to make your comments. Please state your name and address before beginning your comment and indicate which agenda item you are speaking to. Are there any public comments at this time? Yes, sir.
It's Nick Klein.
All right, come on up, Nick. Welcome to Battle Creek.
Absolutely great to be here. Thank you all so much for convening this evening. Hopefully everybody got to get out and enjoy the beautiful sunshine. I know I sure did. My arms are burnt to a crisp. So I'm here, and again, I'm trying not to touch the microphone, so I might have to bend down a little bit. So I'm here respectfully requesting a pilot for our proposed station-side loss development located at 135 North Washington Avenue. And I'm with Pivotal. We're based at 9100 Center Point Drive, Suite 210 in Westchester, Ohio. So we are tremendously excited to be in Battle Creek. We're excited about the Station Side Loss project. We believe it will have an immense impact on the city. We are imagining it as a 42-unit, 100% affordable housing development featuring 28 spacious 2-bedroom units and 14 spacious 3-bedroom units. The approximately $16 million project will create over 125 construction jobs, people who have to stay locally, spend locally, and eat locally. Upon its completion, it will have an on-site property manager and a maintenance tech, both of whom will be our employees and will have benefits. And most importantly, the project will be 100% affordable to those earning between approximately $23,000 a year to about $62,000 a year. And while this is the first phase of housing, and we will be submitting it for tax credits October 1st, we are hopeful in the future to come back and eventually develop the remainder of the Dolliver site, featuring a multi-generational, multi-phase, aging-in-place campus. So with that, very excited to be here and excited about our proposed project and developing on city-owned land, and I'm certainly available if there are any questions.
Well, thank you, Nick, for your comments. We appreciate your investment in Battle Creek, and we look forward to the ribbon cutting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Are there any other public comments at this time? Yes.
Good evening, Reese Atkins. I will be speaking on 554. It's a resolution that really shocked me when I seen it, because I have been in Battle Creek for 48 years, and I did not realize that the city of Battle Creek invented peanut butter. It is very nice to see that our commissioners are looking at what was invented back in the day, before probably most of our time, and making note of it. I'd like to see more of it. I'd like to see more of what Battle Creek has invented and that some of us don't even know about. But I go on an old saying my mama used to always tell me, the day you stop learning is the day you go 6 feet under the ground. So apparently I'm not going today. Thank you.
Thank you, Reese. Is there any other public comment this time? Any other public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to public hearing. Madam Clerk?
This is a public hearing to receive public comments on the 2023-2024 Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report, referred to as the CAPER. Reporting on the city's use of federal community development block grant dollars, CDBG, and home investment partnership funds.
We'll declare the public hearing open. Is there any public comment at this time? Is there any public comment on the public hearing? Seeing none, is there any commission comment? Hearing no commission comment, we'll declare the public hearing closed. Next item on our agenda is the adoption of ordinance 15-2024. Madam Clerk.
This proposed development, now called Station Side Lofts, is proposed to take place at the former Dolliver Building site at 135 North Washington Avenue, near Fire Station 2. According to the developer, the approximately $15 million development will comprise up to 60 units in an up to 4-story elevator-served urban-style building. This proposed ordinance seeks to amend Chapter 882, Real Estate Taxation, by amending Section 23, modifying the terms of payment in lieu of taxes for the housing development to be known as station side lofts.
I move for the adoption of proposed ordinance 15/2024.
Support.
Been moved and supported to adopt ordinance 15-2024. Are there any commission comments or clarifications or questions? Seeing none, would you please vote on the adoption of ordinance 15-2024?
Commissioner Simmons?
Yeah, it's not coming up on my Novus agenda app, so yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Nick. Your ordinance, the adoption of this ordinance has been approved. It's one more step. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is the adoption of proposed ordinance 16-2024. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This proposed request would amend the pilot for Northern Pines Apartments, which proposes construction of a 56-unit permanent supportive housing community. Permanent supportive housing, PSH, is an invention that combines affordable housing assistance with voluntary support services to address the needs of people experiencing homelessness. PSH is a long-term assistant meant for the most vulnerable homeless populations. This proposed ordinance would amend Chapter 882, Real Estate Taxation, by amending Section 22, modifying the terms of a payment in lieu of taxes to Northern Pines Apartments previously approved at the October 17th, 2023 meeting.
I move to approve, to adopt ordinance 16/2024.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to adopt proposed ordinance 16-2024. Are there any questions, concerns, or comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on the proposed ordinance adoption 16-2024? Proposed ordinance has been approved 16-2024. Next item on our agenda is the proposed ordinance for adoption 17-2024. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This proposed development, Manchester Place, is planned to take place at the former Bronson Behavioral Health Facility, commonly referred to as the Fieldstone site, at 165 North Washington Avenue. The subject site consists of 8.81 acres. According to the developer, the development will consist of 3 20-unit, 2-story walk-up apartment buildings that are non-age restricted. The residential units will include a mixture of 1, 2, and 3-bedroom unit types that range in size from approximately 800 to 1,385 square feet. This proposed ordinance would amend Chapter 882, Real Estate Taxation, by amending Section 24, modifying the terms of payment in lieu of taxes for the housing development to be known as Manchester Place.
I move to adopt ordinance 17/2024.
Support.
Been moved and supported to adopt ordinance 17-2024. Are there any comments, questions, or clarifications needed by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on the adoption of the proposed ordinance 17-2024? The adoption of ordinance 17-2024 has been approved. Thank you very much, the city manager's office, for all three of those. Next item on our agenda is commission comment regarding meeting business. Are there any commission comments?
I move to adopt the consent agenda.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the consent agenda. Is there any comments by the commission on this item? Seeing none, would you please vote on the consent agenda? The consent agenda has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 551.
In an effort to keep the electrical grid reliable during peak times, Consumers Energy has developed a demand response program to reduce off-peak energy usage. To lower peak time usage, Consumers Energy has invested in real-time system monitoring that predicts when peak time usage will be greater than the energy available. This event of a predicted usage demand that will be greater than the available energy, Consumers Energy will call upon its portfolio of non-residential customers, including municipalities who have agreed to enter into these agreements to reduce their load in order to keep the demand lower than what is available. This resolution seeks authorization for city manager to enter into a 2025 emergency commercial and industrial demand response agreement with Consumers Energy related to City Hall.
Move to approve Resolution 551.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 551. Are there comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 551? Resolution 551 has been approved. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 552. Madam Clerk?
In an effort to keep the electrical grid reliable during peak times, Consumers Energy has developed a demand response program to reduce off-peak time energy usage. To lower peak time usage, Consumers Energy has invested in real-time system monitoring that predicts when peak time usage will be greater than the energy available. In the event of the usage demand that will be greater than available energy, Consumers Energy will call upon its portfolio of non-residential customers, including municipalities who have agreed to enter into these agreements to reduce the load in order to keep the demand lower than when it's available. This resolution seeks authorization for the city manager to enter into a 2025 emergency with generator commercial and industrial demand response customer agreement with Consumers Energy for 10 lift stations.
Move to approve Resolution 552.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 552. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 552? Resolution 552 has been approved. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 553. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
If approved, this resolution authorizes an amendment to the 2024-2025 fee bond and insurance schedule for the Hamblin Street parking structure to accommodate transient visitors to the downtown as well as patrons of Kellogg Arena and the newly renovated DoubleTree Hotel. This resolution seeks approval of the amendments to the 2024-2025 fee bond and insurance schedule for the city of Battle Creek.
Move to approve Resolution 553.
Support.
So moved and supported to approve Resolution 553. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on the approval of Resolution 553? Resolution 553 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 554.
The city of Battle Creek, Michigan holds a prominent place in history of culinary innovations. The invention of peanut butter is a significant milestone in that history, which revolutionized both nutrition and cuisine. In the early 20th century, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg and his team at the Battle Creek Sanitarium were instrumental in developing the first commercial peanut butter product, which has since become a staple in households across the globe. This resolution, brought forward by Commissioner Smith, Morris, and O'Donnell, seeks the approval to honor the invention of peanut butter in the city of Battle Creek.
Move to, move to approve Resolution 554.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Resolution 554. Commissioner Smith, would you like to talk to us a little bit about peanut butter? I thought Jiffy started everything.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, as everybody here already knows, Battle Creek has a reputation for punching way above its weight. And this is just another example of that. You know, whether it's the breakfast table, the kitchen table, the picnic table, we're there. And it doesn't just stop at, you know, food product. Battle Creek has contributed big time to countless political, social, cultural, and even religious movements. And I just want this to be a reminder, another feather in our cap. So the next person who's out there in our city right now thinking about doing the next thing can know they're going to be in good company. They have a shot here in Battle Creek, and you know, in Battle Creek things happen. So with that, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Go nuts.
Thank you. Any questions of Commissioner Smith? Commissioner Morris, do you have a question?
I do not have a question, but I do have a comment if that's okay.
All right, that's fine.
I just wanted to thank you for bringing this to our attention. And I also wanted to point out that commercial is the big word here. Battle Creek did not invent peanut butter. That goes to George Washington Carver. And I just wanted to make that clear that commercial is the big word here.
Yes.
Any other comments by the commission? Concerns, questions? Are you ready to vote? This is a historic vote. Let's go for it. Please vote on the approval of Resolution 554. Resolution 554 has been approved unanimously. Thank you very much, Commissioner Smith.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is Resolution 555. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
Pursuant to Employment Provision 296.09C, no person shall be employed by the city or paid with city funds who has retired under the provisions of the Police and Fireman Retirement System. The city manager may make exceptions to this provision with the approval of the city commission when she or he feels the interest of the city would be served thereby. The city and the Police Officers Labor Council, non-supervisory unit, have entered into a letter of understanding acknowledging the retired officers, including BCPD retirees, may be a good fit for the direct hire positions at Battle Creek Bronson Hospital. This resolution seeks authorization for the city manager to reemploy on a part-time basis up to 4 retired BCPD officers to be named under 296.09C.
Move to approve Resolution 555.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 555. Are there any questions, concerns, or comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 555? Resolution 555 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 556. Madam Clerk?
Section 7 of City Attorney Kim's employment contract provides that he will be evaluated annually on specific criteria developed jointly and approved by the City Commission and Mr. Kim. This will be communicated to him at the beginning of the evaluation period. At the August 28, 2024 City Attorney Performance Evaluation and Salary Review Committee, Vice Mayor Sophia shared the updated organizational chart, workout, and resource management document, which included the goals and objectives of the city attorney. At that meeting, the committee members determined that the 2024-2025 document was ready to be presented to the entire commission for adoption. This resolution identifies the 2024-2025 goals and objectives and measures of success for the city attorney William Kim's evaluation criteria.
Move to approve Resolution 556.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 556. Vice Mayor Sophia, would you like to make any comments, or?
Thank you, Mayor. So we, the City Attorney Evaluation Committee met and took a look at the measures that we evaluated our former city attorney on and did some updating, consulted with Mr. Kim, and I believe that this document is a good representation of the conversation that we had that day, and I appreciate all of the time and effort that my fellow committee members put in reviewing the document. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other commission comments at this time? City Attorney, do you have anything to add?
Nothing really to add to what Vice Mayor Sophia said. I think that the objectives are fairly clear and understandable, and I'm hoping to meet your guys' expectations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Would you please vote on Resolution 556? Resolution 556 has been approved, and once again, thank you, the committee members, for putting this in writing. And thank you, Attorney William Kim. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 557. Madam Clerk.
As permitted under the Michigan Open Meetings Act, a public body, upon a majority vote, may meet in a closed session for a strategy or negotiation sessions connected to the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement. If either negotiating party requests a closed hearing, the city has requested that closed session. This resolution sets a closed session on a labor matter for September 17th, 2024.
Move to approve Resolution 557.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Resolution 557. Are there any comments, concerns, or questions by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on 557? Resolution 557 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is general public comment. This will be limited to 3 minutes per individual. If you'd like to make general public comment regarding matters over which the City Commission has control, please raise your hand and wait for us to acknowledge you to come forward to the podium. You will have 3 minutes to make your comment. Please state your name and address prior to beginning your comment. Yes, ma'am, in the back row.
Good evening. My name's Nicole Hill. I'm at 250 Feld Avenue here in Battle Creek. I'm here this evening as a concerned citizen and a heartbroken parent. I won't name my daughter, but I'd like to share some of her experiences. Over the last 2 years, my daughter got into a relationship with a man that was 10 years her senior. During this 2-year period, my daughter visited the ER at the hands of her boyfriend on 4 separate occasions. And those were only the times that she thought she was going to die. She was seen and treated in the ER for pain behind her eyes, following repeated punches to her head, 2 concussions, a broken finger, bleeding from her ear after being strangled to the point of passing out in the street when she tried to run. While she was on a cruise, he sexually assaulted her, beat her, and then broke her phone to keep her from contacting anyone. The security had to escort her to a different room just to keep her safe. There have been many scrapes, bruises, broken phones, and slashed tires, and not to speak of the lifelong damage he has caused financially, emotionally, and psychologically. Most recently, he posted her social security number online, opened up a Semco and Consumers Energy accounts in her name, and a credit card with a $20,000 limit that continues to be used. The reason I'm here is because we need help. It took months for me to talk her into filing. It took months for me to talk her into filing a police report, which he only talked her out of. Once again, we went to the Battle Creek Police, where we attempted to file a police report, but only got a lecture from the desk clerk, where we were sent in many different directions without any resolution. My daughter's not the first of his victims, but she's the first to file a police report. And because he's known by many in Battle Creek, in fact, one of the police officers in the ER said, "Oh, I know him. He's a good guy." But because of that, people are scared to speak up, fearful of retaliation. On September 9th, I spoke to the Battle Creek Public Schools Board of Education because this predator works in schools with children. Following that, he's threatened my family, stating that he was going to shoot my son and his bitch-ass daughters, who are 2 and 4. He's told my son if he tries to do anything, your daughters and mom are going to pay for it. And I beat everything. That's what good lawyers do. Tell them, come get me. Battle Creek Police Department are on my side. So while we pursue Capri Taylor in court and through the Justice Department, I come seeking assistance before more violence occurs in Battle Creek. Capri Taylor is an unpredictable terrorist at this point and a danger to my family and the citizens of Battle Creek. Thank you.
Nicole, thank you very much, and I'm sure that our chief of police will be willing to talk to you afterwards. God bless you. I feel bad. Yes, David Moore.
David Moore, I attended this workshop tonight. I thought it was a good meeting. We brought it out to the public, and this is what I like to see. You guys come out there and share with us what's going on in here. Say, I hope there's more of them. Hope we keep updated on it. And I like to bring up, say, we like to have a little, for these two oldest buildings, have a little museum, the history of it, and keep the buildings, don't tear the buildings down, keep them there for a museum and have them for a display. A good number, you have people come in, see what our heritage was, and our young kids coming up today can go back and see somewhat we had 120 years ago. And I compliment the workshop tonight, and thanks for, I'd like to thank the City Commission having that workshop. Thanks for sharing with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Yes.
Thank you. Just a few things that are actually really personal to me. We all know about the dog attack that happened about a week ago. About the pit bulls that attacked the dog that they were walking and ended up killing the dog. Just real quick, my uncle, several years back in his late 60s, was attacked by a pack of 4 pit bulls. And he was in his own garden on his own property, and each one of those dogs grabbed a limb, dragged him to the ground. And I will tell you that had his neighbor not heard his cries for help, he wouldn't be here. And as far as I know, those dogs, they were quarantined for 10 days, and they think they're still alive. I will tell you this, I don't know what the Battle Creek ordinance is. I haven't had time to research it. But if an ordinance does not exist in regard to animals that attack like this and kill, there needs to be. What if this was a child? What kind of conversation will we be having them? These dogs are unprovoked. And so something needs to change if there's already not something in place. That's just it for that. The second thing that's personal to me, and this is real personal to me, and I can't get into details because of, I can't. But I will tell you that this is public knowledge of what I'm going to tell you. At KCC, in the boardroom, there's a photograph of an individual by the name of John Bird. John Bird pled guilty in December of 2023 to sexually assaulting an individual. He got a 90-day days in jail, period of probation, alcohol testing, sex offender counseling, as well as no contact with the victim. Dana Nessel said, and I quote, "Today's guilty plea and upcoming sentencing will put a predator behind bars." Why does the KCC board have a plaque of this predator on the boardroom wall where public meetings are held? Here's how this is personal to me. I have a really close relative. I can't say who. They were assaulted, far worse, a number of years back. They have gone through hell. They go to that school. What does this action by the board say to an individual who is a sexual assault survivor that goes to KCC? What does that tell them? I think the Battle Creek City Commission needs to come out against having that plaque. I honestly do. Whatever accomplishments that person made or did as a board member, they were given up when they decided to become a predator. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other, yes, Kathy Antea.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Kathy Antea, Park Ridge Drive. First, I'd like to thank the city for allowing the the Latin Heritage Festival last weekend. It was a really good time, real fun. I appreciate that very much. We need more of those kinds of activities downtown all the time. I also am cautiously optimistic after the passing of the 3 housing ordinances. The first new housing in Battle Creek in over 20 years, so especially the permanent supportive housing. I'm really excited about that. But I'm also here to tell you about a couple of activities that we have going on in Battle Creek that you may want to know about. Next Tuesday night at the Cool Center, doors open at 5. From 6 to 8 p.m., we're having a fair housing event. Not sure where the camera is. There's a fair housing event. The Battle Creek NAACP has invited the Michigan Department of Civil Rights to come and tell folks about housing issues and housing rights. Not only will there be a formal presentation, but we'll have plenty of time for audience questions as well. So please come. There's some registration. We'd love to have people register so we can have a good head count. That's next Tuesday night, September 24, from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Cool Center. And then in addition, the NAACP has invited the Department of Civil Rights, the Michigan Department of Civil Rights, to be here in Battle Creek every third Thursday of the month from approximately 10 in the morning till approximately 3 in the afternoon to interview people that have discrimination complaints. And this could be discrimination in the area of law enforcement, education, employment, housing, or public accommodations. So if you believe you've been discriminated against, regardless of what the discrimination is, please, you would be welcome to come. We would prefer if you could make an appointment, but we will be accepting walk-ins as well. And that's the third Thursday of every month from about 10 in the morning till about 3 in the afternoon, and those will be held at the Urban League building or the NAACP offices, and I believe the address is 172 West Van Buren. Just had to make sure I said that right. I will be asking if we may be able to post these somewhere in City Hall. I don't know if that's allowed or not, but I'm asking. I don't expect an answer right now, but I will be posting these around town, and there are some Facebook event posts regarding both of these events as well. The NAACP is partnering with a number of organizations, including the Community Development Division here in the city, and a lot of other notable organizations. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Any other public comment at this time? Reese?
Good evening, Reese Adkins, 84 South 23rd Street. I just want to touch a little bit on the seminar that we had earlier today on the fire departments. My biggest concern is the closing of Station 3 and then moving it down to Station 1. I lived in Post Edition for multiple times over on Jericho. I've had to use Station 3 multiple times when either myself or friends I had living with me had to end up going to the hospital. And the one thing that concerns me is if you move it down to Station 1, time frame. If you have an individual that is having a heart attack, that extra couple minutes that it would take to go from Station 1 to their house in Post Edition could be life or death. I understand the building on Cliff Street is outdated, it's old, okay, but I drive up and down Columbia Avenue all the time. You know, I drive Main Street. I drive a lot of these streets in Post Edition. I have a friend that lives in Emmett Township, so I go to pick him up. There's all kinds of vacant lots. There's all kinds of areas that the city can look at to build additional Station 3 that would help Post Edition, that would take and keep the time frame of somebody getting help that could be life or death. I really think that we need to really seriously look at the ability, what you're doing with Station 3, because I do not, under no circumstance, agree with leaving it and then moving it to Station 1, because your time frame of getting to a scene of a medical is going to be horrible. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments at this time? Public? Yes, sir.
Rick Newcomb, Epperson Road, Battle Creek. This has been a really uplifting meeting, and I really appreciate all the comments people have made and everything. And I don't mean this other than just basically just something that I'd like for the board to consider. It may have a negative tone to you people, but it's just a plea for you people to think about things. Because we live in a small community. Battle Creek's smaller than Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo is bigger than Marshall. Ford has built a battery manufacturing plant in Marshall. There's a river that passes by this battery plant that will be dumping waste into it that flows past a lot of land, and it flows past Battle Creek. More land, Kalamazoo, more land, more cities. Water is Michigan's resource, but we are giving it to Communist China. And the CCP is the enemy of our country, which is basically an unconstitutional thing to do. This is not the will of we the people, which you have all been well aware of since the Communist Project began. Basically, when we lose the land and clean water, where do we think it will be safe to farm, swim, canoe, kayak? We will have the land and will we have the land and water that will be uncontaminated enough to be able to be safe to eat any of the food? That could be a big problem. Want to get right with your community, your family, and your God. When the resources are gone, so is the community, which are our businesses, our wealth, and our souls. We are protected by the Constitution of the United States. You have done unconstitutional, you have made some unconstitutional decisions. You may consider to sue Marshall City, Township, Calhoun County government for crimes they have done and the devastation they will cause as this battery facility continues. I pray for each of you and all of us to do what is the right thing, save our communities, and please consider our future very carefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other public comments at this time? Yes, ma'am.
Nadine Bradshaw, 84 South 23rd Street. I came to you in regards to the peanut butter in Battle Creek. We order, at the Northeast Food Pantry, we order 8 cases of peanut butter. There's about 12 jars per case, and that's 96 jars in total. On average, we see about 60 people in a 3-day time period. That's 5,760 jars. That's just a guesstimation of jars of peanut butter. It's mind-blowing. And I didn't know that Battle Creek was even part of peanut butter. I honestly thought we were the largest part of cereal. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Barb Schambach, and I came to last meeting earlier in the month, and I have some things to pass out, and then I'll talk about them. This is for the city council.
All right, we've got a box right there.
Put them in that, yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
And then I've got some for each side of, if you please pass these out. I don't know if I counted you guys.
Okay, ma'am, we're going to have to.
Hurry.
Yep.
Okay. There were 2 things that troubled me I hadn't been to a city council meeting for over 10 years. I lived in Battle Creek since 1962. And one of them was that last time, it seemed like more people brought issues up from like 5 years ago. And it seemed to me that somewhere along the line, you let go of an issue. Because it's like calling somebody that did something wrong, and you keep reminding them that they did it wrong or not your way for sure. And I don't think that serves everybody the best that it could. And then the other thing, there was housing, and it was mentioned that I can't remember whether it was the rent. I think it was the rent rather than the whole cost of the new home, but it was less than. And that's why I passed these pieces out. Oh, I was hoping you could look at them while I was talking, but that's okay. There is such a thing as equity. And if you can imagine 3 people standing here, and one is quite tall and looking over a ledge, and then the other one is down under the ledge, and the third one is even lower. In order for that third person to even get their head above the ledge or the water, they have to have a special accommodation to make it possible. And sometimes we think we are living on the edge. Sometimes we worry about what we spend, but there are people who make far less than we do that do deserve extra consideration. And that's all I really want to say.
Thank you very much for your comments. Are there any other public comments at this time? Are there any other public comments? John?
What I'm about to say is for the people in this room and the people that happen to be listening. The City Commission, you don't have to listen. I'm going to tell you a little story that happened about 16 years ago. In the factory that I was working in, there was a girl that was extremely happy. She had something that was really happy in her life. She explained to me she just bought a house. She also explained to me she took out a mortgage, and the mortgage was $60,000. She explained it was a fixed rate, interest rate, and it was for 30 years. The payments were $600 a month. So from this calculation, we can calculate for the $60,000 loan that she would spend back to the lending agency $7,200 a year. Over a 30-year period, she would be spending $216,000 for that $60,000 loan, if she was able to make it. If she lost her job, she would have lost the house. But we work backwards from here. We take the $60,000 off the $216,000 that she would have paid after 30 years. Mayor, I need your undivided attention, please. That's what's said in the city charter, but apparently that's not important either. Anyway, what she did was you take off the $60,000 after the $216,000 that she would have paid in the end. That leaves $156,000. You take off about $30,000 for taxes if she had had the house in the first place. That taxes were paid in her payments. That leaves $126,000. Give or take a little bit, maybe $6,000 to $15,000. She would have given them more than $110,000 of her working life for a $60,000 loan. She could have bought her house if she had originally paid it straight out and kept $110,000 to $120,000, maybe for her children's education, maybe for a trip around the world. When the government of Battle Creek takes out loans, which was suggested here and has a number of loans that the citizens and taxpayers have to pay off, that's a shackle around their neck. You're not paying $15,000 for a police station. You're paying over $25,000. That's $10,000 more that you could have paid or didn't have to pay if the city government had put money aside in a capital improvement plan. But unfortunately, the city government and the city commission like to mortgage the citizens of Battle Creek and the taxpayers. That causes a negative result, and people may not necessarily want to live here because basically you're mortgaging their lives. That's why I'm opposed to what you do here, especially in the fire department. You could have avoided all this, but you weren't interested. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Any other public comments tonight? Hearing none, any commission comments? Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to make an announcement. This coming up Saturday, speaking of history of Battle Creek and inventions and stuff, we have the 100 years of our airport being open, a centennial, and it's this Saturday, September 21st, from 8 a.m., or 8:30 a.m., sorry, to 1 p.m. at the Western Michigan College of Aviation. And they are really going to put on a nice little historic event out there, so I hope everybody can attend. Thank you.
Any other commission comments? Seeing none, we're going to go into a recess, and we'll be back from our closed session to conduct any other business.
Mayor, do you want to check with Commissioner Simmons?
Oh, Commissioner Simmons.
I didn't know if you had any commission
Oh,
comment.
Commissioner, do you have any commission comment, Commissioner Simmons?
No, thank you. I don't have anything further.
We'll see you in our closed session then.
said give them 3 minutes to set.
Really?
Actually, you may want to read this before you run away. Roy Hubble lives in your area.
Let's see, look at it.
I think they're trying to get Chris back. Oh, we probably got time to read it.
Okay.
I passed it along.
Commissioner Simmons, is he all set? Yeah. Okay. He's not quite there yet, Mayor.
I hadn't heard anything about that.
DPW, Perry,
Huh?
Perry, who's our water guy, Perry, spoke here a couple times. Perry, not Watson, but who's a basketball coach. Perry.
Okay, we ready? Thank you very much. We're back from our closed session.
Thank you, Mr.
Commissioner Jim Lance.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the tentative agreement with AFSCME.
Support.
Who moved and supported? Are there any comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on the motion on the floor?
Yes.
Commissioner Reynolds? Thank you.
The motion has been approved and will adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much for attending our Battle Creek City Commission meeting. Thank you.